Welcome back. A little Miranda Lambert to get you going on this Monday morning. Well, two-time cancer survivor from Colorado has just returned from a bucket list journey. Sean Swarner trekked through a white oblivion to reach a place on Earth most of us will never get to, the South Pole. Sean is here this morning sharing the journey, and I love that you are dressed for a blizzard while I'm dressed for the spring-like weather we're getting here in Denver. Okay, tell me about the jacket first, because I think that's kind of key into playing in what you went through weather-wise. The jacket's what rated to...
Well, this is the bomber jacket's rated to -40, but with the wind chill, we got to -70.
Okay, how did your body do? And I know a little frostbite.
Little tiny bit of frostbite. Yeah, we're talking about that. You can barely see it anymore. But you know, my body did great. Coming back, it was a shock to the system, though.
Yeah.
You know,
why the South Pole? Because you've done the 7 summits. You were the first cancer survivor to summit Everest. So now why the South Pole?
Well, I've done the 7 summits, like you said, Everest, and then there's something called the Adventure Grand Slam, which to me kind of sounds like a Denny's breakfast. But it's the North and South Poles with the 7 summits in there. So I have one more to go, the North Pole.
And you did the South Pole in conjunction with Grape Nuts, doing a What's Your Mountain? You were down there filming. Tell me about the weather conditions, because I will have to say, it was very cool to actually talk to you while you were at the South Pole. But what was it like weather-wise going through?
You know, weather-wise, it was, believe it or not, because of the solar radiation, the sun never sets. So it just kind of does a big halo in the sky. And in the tent, I think one day it got to about 89 at night. Okay, and so that would be half the tent, because the sun will be over here. And then on the other side of the tent, it was probably 0. And then outside, it was -20. So you would have
a
100-degree temperature difference. Oh, easily, yeah.
Yeah. Now, I know you were talking to kids along the way, and you were also Skyping with a lot of classrooms.
Yep.
What are some of the top questions that the kids are asking you?
That's a good question. A lot of them are asking me, you know, what was the weather like? Did you see any rainbows?
Did you?
And actually we did. There's something called a parhelion, which I'll have to share with you. It's a round rainbow that goes around the sky, formed by the crystals of when the snow blows by.
So kind of like the 22-degree halo that you sometimes see around the sun.
Exactly.
Okay, what about animals? Did you see any animals?
No animals, and there were no smells either.
Really?
It's the cleanest place on Earth.
Huh. Interesting. Interesting. Okay, what is your next big journey? I know you have something coming up this summer.
Well, yeah, the summer, every year I take a group up Kilimanjaro, so we're accepting applications right now. We do it, I think we're doing it mid-July. I'm heading to India for some presentations, ramping up my speaking, and we're still looking for classrooms to talk to via Skype, too. And
I know with Kilimanjaro, you do take some cancer survivors, because as a 2-time cancer survivor, and I should also say that you were doing all this, and I've hiked with you before, with one lung. One lung. That's just amazing. So, how, I mean, like physically, like breathing and things, how was that down at the South Pole?
You know, it wasn't too bad, because I live up in Summit County, so my house is about 9,000 feet, and the average elevation of Antarctica is about 10,000 feet. So relatively speaking, because of what's called equatorial bulge and everything else, there's less oxygen down there and less atmospheric pressure, so it feels more like 12,000, but it wasn't too bad. Okay,
compare it to Mount Everest for me. Which one's harder?
Everest is a lot harder. Antarctica was a lot colder. Speaking of, I'm getting hot. I'm going to take this thing off soon.
You'd be all right in New York City in the next 24 hours. But was it just mentally, though? Was it a challenge just being in that white oblivion for, you did it, what, 8 days?
8 days. And that's actually a really good point, because I describe it kind of like being out in the middle of the ocean. And as far as you can see, it's just rolling water. Flash freeze it and turn it into hard-packed snow. That's kind of what it's like. And there's nothing except for snow across the entire horizon. And you're just going south. You're not going left, you're not going right, you're not going anywhere but south.
So you were truly following a compass, truly
just directly
GPS,
south.
Yeah.
So my mind, you know, at one point would think, oh, this is awesome, this is incredible. 30 seconds later, this sucks, what am I doing? So it would be up and down, but eventually, you know, we made it, and it was just one heck of a trip.
Yeah, I will say it's the only phone call I've ever gotten from the South Pole, which I think is downright cool. Hey, again, I do want to send people to your website, because I know you're going to be posting more of the videos, continuing to share more of the stories. And by the way, if you would like Sean to Skype with your kids' classroom, hit him up on Facebook, Twitter, off the website, that you are continuing to Skype with classrooms, which I think is so cool for the kids to be able to ask questions. And the website is SeanSwarner.com. All right, my friend, take off your jacket, relax, get ready for this summertime weather that's coming our way as I take you outside and show you what's going on right now.